Do you know there are several reasons why a lot of young people join cults, social vices, and other addictions? Today, I'll be talking about reasons why a lot of people young join cults, and I'll be relating it to my story. If you have not watched my video, please click the button above and go back to all my stories from the beginning. Hi, my name is Excellence Madoka. I'm a life coach and an ex-campus cultist in Nigeria. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be talking about reasons why a lot of young people join cult. There are several reasons, but these reasons that I'm going to be enumerating today in relation with my story are, they are about 90% of the same reason why a lot of young people join cult. Number one reason why so many young people join cult, just like my case, is out of ignorance. Not knowing what they will face, not knowing what is inside of, not knowing the dangers in cultism. So many people like me, when I joined cult, I thought it was a game of fun. I thought that it was a place where I will have access, to go to parties. I will have access to meet friends, to hang out with so many young people. I thought it was just fun. But until my initiation, after my initiation, and my first assignment was given to me, and that first assignment was to carry a heat. And that heat, like I said in my last story, that heat, I was very shaky. I never knew that was exactly what they wanted me to do. That in cult, that you get involved in murder, you get involved in so many, shady things and so many things that you cannot even stand to talk about. So many young people today, they get themselves involved. So many people, they come to them and they tell them that if you join cult, that will have so many people out there that will help you. If you join cult, you will never fail. If you join cult, you will talk to any kind of girl. You mix up with so many people. All these things are lies. You will not know until you get there. Several young people, from the day of their initiation, just like me, from that day, the reality of what you have joined will just dawn on you. You will know that outrightly, you will know that you are in the wrong place. Because cultism is a spiritual thing, it's a demonic thing. From the oath that you take, remember I told you in one of my stories, the significance of the blood oath. That blood oath, because you don't know, they won't tell you everything. They won't tell you. All they will tell you is that it's a game of fun. It's a place where you catch fun. It's a place where you have brothers. You have people that will love you. Nobody loves you in court. Nobody will be there for you. When the chiefs are down, my brother, my sister, you will be alone. When things start happening, you'll be alone. I remember one occasion that happened to me after, I came very close to death, that I lost my friend in one of the videos that I said. That period, immediately as it happened, everybody thought I was among the people that died. Everybody thought that I died with my friend. By the time I got back to school after 3 months, I was ostracized by my own particular people. They didn't want to come close to me because they felt that I was, a security threat. If you come close to me, police people, they are looking for you, and they will not. So everybody, so what good is it? If I knew that, I would be asked to, raise up my hand to strike someone, honestly speaking, I wouldn't have done that because of the upbringing that I have. And a lot of you, the same thing. There is nothing in cultism. So, ignorantly you get into this place. Ignorantly, by the time you are initiated, they'll begin to give you orientation. They begin to tell you several things, and then your eyes will be open. Then you think that there is no way out. Number 2 reason why a lot of people join cult is lack of self-esteem. Lack of self-esteem. When I wasn't able to, make my jump when I went to do my remedial course, from the last story that I said, one of my stories, I came back home after having told my friends, that I had gotten admission, and so many people thought I'd gotten admission. Only for me, I came back home and, I was just there. All my friends that sat back home to read, to study, they all got admission and they went to different schools. By the time they came back, they began to ostracize me. I began to feel low. I began to feel unworthy of myself. That self-respect that I have, I thought that I needed to belong to become. Brother, sister, you don't need to belong to become. You don't need anybody to become somebody. All you need is for you to understand who you are, understand what you have, understand the abilities that God has placed inside of you. If you understand the abilities that God has placed inside of you, I tell you the truth, so many people, they want to be like you. So low self-esteem. I want to join big men, children. I want to belong to this clique. I want to belong to this, no. Build yourself. Understand who you are. Develop yourself. Your creativity. I tell you, people will want to be like you. So low self-esteem is one of the reasons why a lot of young people, they join cult, because they feel that if they don't belong to this group of people, they don't belong to this, rich men, clique, that nobody will identify them. My brother, you're a rich man yourself. There is something inside of you yourself. There is something great that God has created in you. It doesn't matter from where you are coming from. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. It doesn't matter the level, that you are, your family level or your family background. You are you. You are who God has created you to be. So if you understand that you are who God has created you, let me just give you, most of these, so-called big men that has their children flaunting, their fathers, their parents' wealth, and their parents too also came from the kind of probably the same background that you came from, and they built themselves to them. So what makes you think that you cannot build yourself? You cannot build yourself and become an envy of others. So low self-esteem is one of the reasons why a lot of young people join cult. Then the third one is peer pressure, being pressurized, being, you want, your friends will tell you that, see, if you don't do this, you don't, the first time I took my first drag of cigarette, I was pressurized by my friends. When we started by getting this dry at a very young age, getting this dry, corn leaf, this hair, the dry one. So we'll wrap it and, we'll drag it. The first time I saw the first person drag and the person coughed, ha, 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 ha. I said, oh boy, it's not, I can't do this. Oh boy, take. You be man, you are a man, take. And I took the first drag. When I took the first drag, before I knew what was happening, and I saw them, they, growing up, I started seeing them smoking cigarettes, and before you know what's happening, I was pressurized to do this. But the truth of the matter is that cigarette was never my thing. I do it every time I go to party, even especially, taking marijuana, called, popularly known in Nigeria, called Igbo. My first drag of marijuana, I almost killed myself. I knew me. After that, I never took, marijuana, because already I'm a hyper person. Already I am high naturally. I don't need to take anything to be high. So when I took that first, so that was how. But you see, cigarette, I only take cigarette when we go to parties and I see my friends, everybody. These are peer pressure. You understand me? Doing what you don't believe. I know that cigarette was not my thing, but I was doing it because I want to please my friends. So many young people, when they found out, that their friends, they have joined. Remember when I came back, I told you that so many of my friends that, got admission in different schools. They went to different schools and they blended into so many cults. So by the time they came back, they started forming groups according to which cult that they belong. They would do parties and everything. So those of us that didn't, so I was looking, I said, God, so these people, each time I go, they call me bloody civilian. I didn't say, no, leave this bloody civilian. So all those things affected me. That was when I made up my mind. I sat down, I concentrated, I studied, and I got admission. Immediately as I got admission, I began to seek. And when I now came back, I saw that some of my roommates were behaving like those my friends in University of Port Harcourt. Go to my first story, you understand what I'm saying. They were behaving like, those my friends in University of Port Harcourt. So, because I wanted to belong. So I was pressurized, you understand me, to do these things because I felt that if I don't join before I go back home, a lot of people will laugh at me. And so that was how, against what I believe, against my home, my upbringing, against my upbringing, I joined because I wanted to prove to people that I am not a bloody civilian. I wanted to prove to my friends that I can also be part of what they are. So those things pressurized me. So many of you today, you were pressurized. It was not your thing, but you were pressurized to get into this. And peer pressure. Now, you should have the ability to say no. You should. That's why I see it is important that you know who you are. Your self-esteem is very, very important. By the time you build up your self-esteem and you be able to understand who you are, I tell you, nobody can pressurize you against your will. So peer pressure is one of those things that leads a lot of young people to join God, just like as it led me to join God. Then another one is, emotional imbalance. So many people, a lot of young people that came from, broken home where, there is no love, when they come out, these people, they give them false belief that they love them. This is a brotherhood thing that, no matter, will always be there for you. Now, at the beginning, now this goes to especially those of you that, intend to enter university, for the first time. You want to enter college for the first time. Now, college is, university is a community of its own. It's a community, it's a place where you have a lot of freedom. I will always refer you back to my first story. You understand? I really explained this in my first, video. It's a big thing. Now, when you come into this community, you don't know anybody. The first set of people that you probably will meet are probably your old-time high school mates, your relations that came into the school before you. And because you want to feel love, the first thing they do, they begin to work on your emotion. They begin to work on your psyche. They will help you. They will help you do your rigorous registration, because in Nigeria, in most of the public schools, especially, their registration process is very rigorous. So they will come, they will be there for you, they will help you do your rigorous registration. They will, help you get, your accommodation. In fact, they might accommodate you for as long as you settle down. They will be feeding you. At that time, they are, working on your emotions. And now coming, you see people, these people, they're always there for you. They, you cough, they are there to help you, and probably these things, you were not getting it from home. You were not getting it from where you are coming. And you see this false picture. And by the time they lay the card to you that, see, for us to further show you love, you got to belong to our group. You got to belong to our fraternity. So emotionally, they will I call it emotional blackmail, but somehow you feel indebted to them. You feel that they have done so much for you. So if they are offering you to, become, you just succumb to them. So these are the, major reasons why a lot of people join cult. Remember, I said ignorance. I said low self-esteem, peer pressure, and emotional imbalance. Then family influence. Family influence is also part of it. I don't want to really, put it that it was because of where my father, when he was in the university, he belonged to one sect. for reasons I don't want to mention the name of the sect that my father belonged to. So I saw my father doing some things and all those things. But that notwithstanding, a lot of people, your younger aunt, your elder brothers or your family members, they belong to one cult group or the other, and you come into that school and you want to say, because my brothers, they belong to this cult, let me also join. So family influence also helps. A lot of young people, if you understand this, if you understand who you are, you build your self-esteem, nobody can talk you into it. If you understand the dangers in cultism, if you know that these things is not the fun that you think, it's not the fun that you think. I told us one time that you lose your personality. You are no longer yourself. They give you function. They say duty is duty. Even if they ask you, to kill your parents, you kill your parents. Is that it? Do you call that fun? So it's all lies. It's all, it's you are in darkness until you know the truth. You will not be able. So I want to let us understand that cultism will not take you anywhere. In my next video, I'll be looking at somehow, some ways to identify this. Probably parents will be very interested to know this. How do I identify a cultist? How do I know whether my friend is a cultist? How do I know whether any of my children has joined cult? What are the traits? What are the common traits that you get as to notice that someone has joined cult? Please, I'd like you to subscribe to my channel. I'd like you to like this channel. I'd like you to also comment. I need to hear from you. I need to know, where you are watching from. I need to know if you are benefited. Remember, if you have not heard any of my story, click the link above and start from the beginning, and you'll be able to understand. Now, cultism is bad. You don't need to belong to become. So I will always tell you, stand out. Don't blend